go. Playing Queen's Gambit. Alright, d4, knight f6. Okay, guys, no rigging this time. Bishop g7, King's Indian. Ooh, very, very bad opening, guys. Very bad. Anyone who plays this opening deserves to lose. No, just kidding. Okay, let's see. We got the h3 line. Let's try h3. This is the stuff we've been preaching. We're gonna go bishop e3 next move. Wow, 45,000 dojo gold at stake. Amazing. I gotta stop talking about the bets because YouTube always gets mad when I talk about the betting too much. They're like, can you please focus on the game? Like, right, we're playing h3 here. I have a video on the Dojo YouTube channel all about the setup against the King's Indian. I'm gonna go bishop e3 next move. The idea is to hold this knight on g1 in reserve and then develop it in many cases to e2, sometimes to f3, depending on what black does. But basically, it's more flexible than getting the knight out to f3. All right, so black plays c5, totally reasonable move. I'm going to push and take the space. Yeah, we could do h3 King's Indian as the opening of the week. But I don't know. Not everyone's a fan of the King's Indian. Not sure if everyone would be on board for that. Okay, castle. Here, I think we can start developing normally. I'm gonna go bishop d3. No, King's Indian is great. I've been meaning to do some kind of like King's Indian club where we just hang out and look at King's Indian games. Right, e5. Trying to close things up. I don't know, I think we're gonna take it here. Take advantage of our en passant, not let black close this up. Although we could have totally left that move alone as well. There's different ways to play it. Hey, telling move's doing good. How are you? Why not DC, queen takes c8? I don't think white would have much in that endgame. Or b squared. I think that would be close to equal probably. Alright, now knight should come out to f3 because we have a more open position. I feel like this knight better placed here. f4 might have been possible as well. Might have been a thought. F4, f5. Yeah, I think that's totally possible as well. What are we doing? We are doing the Educational Rapid Speedrun, playing all d4, King's Indian, e4, e5, showing folks how it's done with the classic stuff. Knight d7. Good move, trying to get knight d5. Let's play bishop g5. Let's just pop the question. Where's the queen going?
I
well, you really can't lose with the predictions because either you gain some gold or, you know, you lose some, but then you can just watch and gain more anyway. So it's all the same. All right, F6. So F6, we're gonna pull this guy back. So I'm just playing players in the 1800, 1900 range. So within 50 points, if you're there, you can send a challenge as we work our way up. All right, now I want to go knight d5. Just gonna plant this guy here. I think that's where he belongs. I think black's position is actually totally fine here. Sharkama, yeah, Sharkama watches the channel regularly. Okay, 97. Trying to trade off of this knight. All right, but now we're going to force black to take with the pawn here. And after DE, just bishop E3 are just going to pull back. Maybe we'll go FE, but if FE, then we have bishop G5. Unpleasant move. Forcing bishop takes D5, otherwise knight on E7 is going to be lost. Then I think we'll go C takes D5 there and enjoy small advantage. Okay, knight takes D5. Getting a little frisky here. So we both took knights. But now I'm going to take and hit his bishop. He's going to take and hit my bishop. And then we can consider taking, or we can consider just pulling our dark square bishop back and not trading. Okay. So if takes, he can take bishop c4, queen e7. Not so clear there. So I think let's just keep the bishops on the board. Something like bishop e3, even bishop d2, hold up. Maybe we go bishop d2 so we can play b4. Maybe just bishop e3. Yeah, no need to get fancy here, let's just pull back. Feels very doughboy, that's funny. Okay. Now, this guy's bad. That's kind of our idea. I think our main plan is just like b4. If we go b4 right away, takes queen b3 or something, queen d2. e5. Let's just play queen d2. Simple move, improving the queen. And then can prepare our queenside play. Because we want to play on the queen side here, guys, because black's bishop is kind of passive. Oh, maybe I should have played a4, actually, speaking of. Now we're okay, we'll just go b3. No, we'll rock the structure with a4 next. So we want to open up the queen side, because we have two bishops on this side of the board, and black only has one. So if the game is happening on the queen side, then it's almost like we got an extra piece. f4, I think, would be the wrong plan by a wide margin, because that would allow black to open up the bishop. So I think f4 only if we've got nothing else to do. All right, a5. We'll go a4. Now we might see b4 here, just trying to close everything up. All right, that's fine. Now might not be a quick one, guys, but I do like our position. Now this becomes a plan as well as this one. right, let's go here. We're just going to very casually improve our position. Or as they say in the Soviet school of chess, the position improves for you. Hey, Stealth Clan. Stealth Clan, thanks for following. I don't think b takes a4 was better because that would give white more room on the queen side to work with. So I think black did the right thing, but position is still kind of passive. And we're going to try to take advantage of that. Now let's go g3. All right, bishop a6. We'll trade these. We'll go queen e2. Now I'm just liking our slightly better bishop here. It's going to be real small advantage. Let's go here. Let's play here. Okay, he wants the endgame. I think we're okay with an endgame as well. Well, the thing is, it's like we're kind of playing for two results here. So it is a very comfortable position for white, even though it might appear difficult to win. But we have a few ideas. So this is one idea that I'm going to start with. And we'll see how black deals with that one. Because king is just walking in, you know, and I'm just going to take. He's going to take. So I'm guessing once we get here, black will have to put a rook on the b file. And then we'll figure it out from there. So we just want to first put our king on c4, and then we'll do something. Maybe g4, level up on the g file. Principle of two weaknesses, guys, in the flesh. You first pretend you're doing something over here. Black has to respond. And then you pretend you're doing something on the other side. And eventually something breaks. You know, someone blunders. Something happens, guys. Just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Something happens. Yeah, move 15, guys. Plenty of room to go. All right, let's pull this guy back. Problem for black is that it's hard to create counterplay. I mean, maybe he's gonna try some g5 break, but it's very difficult, right? Rook g7, we could have had bishop h6 there. All right, so king f7. Let's bring our king over. And so black has to just kind of sit and wait and hope that white isn't able to break through. All right, bishop d8. Let's bring king in. We're just going to put it here, just put her there, and then we're going to chill. Maybe one day we will play f4, right? If this bishop is going to be parked on b6 or something, way away from the action, then we're going to say, oh, bishop is on the queen side, let's open the king side. Then we'll push f4, try to win the game that way. All right, so black wants g5, and that's totally fine. Can we allow that here? G5, trade, 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 king b5, rook a7. You know, it's not super clear, right? So let's make our life comfortable. Let's go here, so that on g5 we take, and we take on h5. And now black again has nothing to do, and so he has to just unfortunately come up with another move, and then we just continue on our merry way. Right now that we don't give him an option. Maybe king c4 first was good, who knows? But the point is that there black would at least have an idea of what to do here. Black is kind of scrambling. Now the king is coming in. Okay, rook b7. Phase 1 complete. All right, now we can go g4 takes, rook g1. That looks beautiful, actually. That looks absolutely beautiful. We don't even need the rook, right? We just go g4 takes, rook g1. Well, the thing is, Levy, this is what's playing for two results, right? It's like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna win this way or that way. I'm just like improving the position, making sure I'm not allowing any like tricks, and then I'm just banking that it's gonna be hard to hold everything. Yeah, if g5 we would go h5, exactly. Keep the h pawn. All right, so we're gonna take this one, and now at a certain point, king is gonna walk in, right? And that's gonna be devastating. Now we're like thinking about trading pieces. Okay, h5 is a threat. All right, g5. It's a good try. We can go rook g1 here, and I think we win the pawn. Or we go h5. I think rook hg1, actually. We just win the pawn outright. I think that's the way to do it. Earlier, if black played g5, then yeah, we would have played h5. Okay, yeah. No, I know you know. I'm just trying to make it clear for everyone. I think it was a pretty instructive game. Kudos to Scott. He's taken a pounding there. It is move 37, guys. So unfortunately, even though it is a completely winning position, and we might even see resignation soon, it is over. We are past 35 moves. Okay, now the question is, do we trade or do we... If we take, he wants the blockade, so I think it's time. We're going to do him a solid here. We're going to trade off the bad bishop. It's time to simplify, because we want our king to be able to go after this guy. Okay, now do we want to trade rooks? I think we do. I think we want to trade... Well, actually, hold on. Take, take, take. There's this one at the end. Rook g3. All right, we'll take... We'll take... no, sorry. We want to take with the pawn. And then if rook h3 with counterplay, we're just going to stop it. And then if takes, the king and pawn endgame is winning because we're just taking that one. All right, let's just be solid. We'll just give this check. King is going to be cut off. And... yeah, we're rocking in. Okay, black is also flagging, but yeah, I think it's a winning position. I think. All right, now we just walk in. Okay, GG. We're gonna play d4, sticking to the speed run. I am playing chat if you guys are within the rating range. All right, once again, 35 moves. All right, are we getting another King's Indian? Okay, guys. Okay, if we want a little King's Indian clinic, we'll get one. I am happy to deliver. Yes, Scott, that is illegal. You'd be thrown in jail. Rating range just within like 50-ish points. 50-ish. Yeah, that last one was just too passive, Scott. So yeah, maybe objectively it's okay, but yeah, in like in a regular game, it's tough to play those positions because just kind of suffering. Yeah, I mean that's why I learned the King's Indian myself, guys, is because I was struggling against it as white. And I just wanted to see like, well, either this is a perfect opening for black, or maybe there are some lines that are not so easy. And so I kind of got an idea of what black doesn't want to see in the King's Indian as well. Do I still push d5? They try to break with c5 instead of e5. I mean, it can depend on the move order. You don't have to, but that is a very typical way to play. Okay, b6. All right, we're gonna bring the knight out to e2, and then over to g3. It's gonna cover the e4 pawn. No, d5 is not always good. It's always an option, but it's not always like the clear best choice. Knight g3. Yeah, with c5 and e5, it definitely wasn't necessary to take. Although I was thinking f4, f5 there might be even stronger than what I did. I don't think I actually got much of an advantage in the game. But yeah, white can also just leave the pawn on e5, right? Okay, knight c5. So we're just gonna continue the plan. We got queen d2. We want to go bishop e2. And then at some point we'll play either h4, h5, or maybe g5, maybe even bishop h6. Kind of depends on what does black want to do with that knight on f6. And in the meantime, it's hard for black to do a lot on the queen side because everything is closed. What do I think about the bayonet attack? It's very theoretical. So I never really liked it from either side. As white, you have to know a bunch of theory. As black, you have to know a bunch of theory. This kind of sucks. You know, Kasparov stopped playing the King's Indian because of the bayonet attack. I think I remember reading in some interview. He was like, if I play the King's Indian, everyone is just going to prep the bayonet attack 20 moves deep or 25 or 30 moves deep against me. And then best case scenario, like I make a draw. And then that's it. So he was like, I'm not having it. And then he switched to other stuff. Okay, Merce, thanks for following. Question, with the center so closed, is this a case where it's fine to never castle? Kind of, yeah. Like it's very common for white in closed center positions to just leave the king somewhere on e1 or even bring it to g2. King safety is not a huge thing. Yeah, the bayonet attack was popularized by Kramnik, but I would never recommend it for any d4 players, if you guys are wondering. It's just like a bunch of theory. Like you got to learn a bunch of theory to try to post some problem. Like it's, yeah, not exactly right for everyone. Okay, bishop d7. So making it hard for us to push h4 because this one is hanging. Could consider just pushing f3 here and then playing h4. I think that's totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. Let's do it. If you have an extremely good memory, then you should be playing e4, CloudSat, e4, Open Sicilian, Negi books, Negi. No, the King's Indian is not seen at high levels, not because of the bayonet attack, because I think theoretically the bayonet attack, like black can equalize there if they know all the theory. And the reason it's not seen that much is just because it's not as solid as something. Because it's like it's the classical stuff, and then there's many lines there, and then there's like the H3 stuff and the F3 stuff and the Phi and Keto. There's many very dangerous and difficult lines that white can play against the King's Indian. So there's many fires to put out in the King's Indian. Many fires. And so that's why a lot of strong players, they don't, even GMs, they just don't want to like put themselves in a risky position every game with black, right? They just want something solid where they can try to equalize and then outplay their opponent. It doesn't mean they're just playing for a draw. It just means that they want something where the price of one mistake is not that high. In the King's Indian as black, if you make like 1 or 2 mistakes, you might just be strategically lost or dynamically lost or both. Okay, so we could go h5, closing everything up. h6. Again, another strategically winning position. That would be hard to win quickly, but we'll just slowly grind it out. Or we can go bishop h6 and play for the attack. We're going to go h5. There's always going to be g5. So it's not clear how good our attack is, actually. I think we should be playing against the bishop. I don't think we really... In many cases, you do want to play bishop h6, but I don't think we want to do it here. I think here we just want to play against the bishop. Yeah. And let's bury this guy. We're going to bury him. Being dynamically lost means like your opponent has a forced win if they find the right tactics. But if they don't find the right tactics, then you might be okay. Whereas if you're strategically lost, like in this case, black is kind of strategically lost because their pieces are going to be passive for the next 250 moves. Okay, let's just castle. We're just going to chill. Catalan, I think, is a pretty fun opening. Yeah, you get a lot of ideas. You don't have to know a lot of moves. But with any opening, you got to understand the ideas. It's not just about learning the moves, guys. It's very, very important. Man, so many players, like, they come into the Discord and they're like, I've been reading modern chess openings and trying to memorize the opening lines. And it's like, do you guys think that's a good idea? No, it's not. Don't do that. Totally pointless. I think people greatly overestimate how much memory is needed in chess. It's really not needed that much. You don't need to memorize anything, actually. You just need to play a lot and develop that experience. Okay, a4. Let's move the king over, king to b1. Yeah, you can play e4 without having a good memory. Well, I don't think we're remembering how the pieces move every time we play, right? Are you, when you're playing, are you thinking, how does the knight move again? Oh, right. And then you make your move. No, come on. You kind of know certain things at some point. Okay, here I think we're just going to play this move. This has had to happen sooner or later. Black is going to take, of course, because you can't really tolerate a knight. And now we have a legitimate choice. We can open up the g file and play for a sack. That would be one way to win the game. Or we can go ef5 and then try to use the e4 square, which would be another way. I kind of like this gf plan because this is feeling like a very strong attack to me. Because we have one dead piece, two dead pieces, and we're just going to go rook g1 and then like f4. Just take at some point. Just gonna take, rook takes, king f7, maybe some bishop h5 action. And yeah, it's still move 20, guys, so we still got time. We still got time. Move 20. Yeah, black needs to start evacuating quickly. But the problem is the king doesn't quite reach safety. We'll still have bishop d1. We can take here, take here. Oh, there he goes. He's running. All right, let's go here. I can't say I've really been following the champs. All right, we just want to take this one. Okay, a3, maybe b4. We can be aggressive here. We have all the space in the world, and black has two dead pieces, so we can afford to push b4. And maybe we even have this idea. Ooh, that's juicy. Maybe we just play c5 next move. Just rip it open. No, but c5 gives a square. So let's go here first. Let's be respectful, and then we'll play here. Against the Rui, we've been switching it up, but I think we've just been playing like classical, maybe some Marshall. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go c5. Burning this one. And if black ever takes, we're pushing d6 and opening that diagonal up. So this is looking very, very difficult. I really hope we get c6 though. Let's get knight d8, c6 on the board. Let's have 3 dead pieces. Can we get 3 dead pieces? Oh, he takes. That's no fun. That's no fun. Okay, knight a5. Good move. Good move, but we are going to shut that down. Technically, we could have taken here also, actually. That would have been kind of a fun win. But then we just get the piece. It's not like the game is over. Yeah, this is like a beautiful picture. So this is why not everyone likes the King's Indian. Okay, let's just go King A2. just to really and nothing against Amit. Amit is a very nice person from what I've seen. But yeah, nothing personal. It's just sometimes this is how games go. Alright, so now we're going to look for the breakthrough. So this one, obviously. You can take on g5, but then takes, and black will block on f6. Not so obvious. Okay, let's bring this one over here. Yeah, many winning plans. Just gotta improve the pieces. Can like push this one up. Can take this one and bring the pieces to the A file. That'd be kind of easy. But I'm gonna look for breakthrough here if I can. Yeah, having a hard time. Okay, guys, let's push this one. Acrobatic, both moves are fine. It's just I've been playing d4 for some time. But after this is done, I'm going to do an all e4 speedrun as well. Alright, let's play knight e2. 7. Alright, we'll go f4. And now we're going to break through. If takes, we also want a knight d4 when the king was on f8. That would have been a nice idea. Let's take with knight, take. Yeah, should be good. Oof, what a picture. That's going to be 96. GG. Unfortunately, guys, that was 38 moves. Too long. Sorry. Why did we take the queen? Should have taken on g5, yeah? Sorry, Amit. Sorry. I'm sorry. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. I mean, it was a beautiful position. Everyone enjoyed the game, you know? Everyone really enjoyed it. What should we have done here? Take? But that doesn't work. We need a beautiful way to win the game. This one, there's this, here. Hey, here's a funny question. Do you guys think black could win? Let's say we played this move. And let's say we go... Obviously we can take the queen and we're fine, but we're probably still winning there. But let's say... Does black win this position? So you go queen e7. Just start with that. This one deserves these 5. Thanks, Faba. Oh, of course it's going on YouTube. No, c6 was the right move there. I mean, that just shuts down everything. Yeah, I guess black can like just give some pieces like this. But still, it's going to be really hard to get out. Like if bishop g7, we take, and then if knight takes, rook takes h7. The thing is, queen is kind of stuck. Queen e6, I think we take white there. I mean, pieces are still going to be... So the idea is like, okay, rook a8 or something. All right, white needs a move. Actually, white can probably just take the pawn. We'll take the pawn. Rook a8, we'll go like king b3 or something. Bishop g7. Bishop g7 we take, and then if knight takes, rook takes h7. King e8. It does start to get out slowly. Huh? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it was fun. Bishop d4. It's close. It's a very close call. Well, I think what I don't like here is I don't like this structure for black. Although it's playable, I just don't. I think it's too difficult. So against this line, I would play knight a6 here and then c6 and keep things a little bit more open. Yeah. I mean, this stuff is playable, but you get this very difficult close position. And then the problem with the close position is like you can lose with the kingside attack, but you can also lose just like getting squeezed, like kind of like what happened in the game. Very typical. Like I think in the game once we had h6 on the board or h5, g5, I mean it was basically like, usually this is kind of just strategically bankrupt for black because, I mean, especially with the knight on e8, that's like particularly bad, or I mean very unfortunate that this knight ended up here. But even if this knight is on a better square like f7, just the bishop being buried forever just gives white long-term carte blanche, do whatever you want on the queen side.